Before we begin our podcast, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For Cass, it's the Borragagal people, and for Hailey, it's the Dharawal people.
Welcome to Drag Me Out. I'm Hailey.
And I'm Cass.
Thanks for listening. So, Cass, how was your week?
Okay. I went into the office again the other day. Had a bit of a hip / backside problem, as in the pain going down to my backside, not toilet issues. So I nixed the swimming. And then, so we're on a public holiday today, so the pool was closed.
Yeah.
But what happened was I got an email from the local pool that I'm a member of that said that my application to suspend my membership was granted. I didn't ask for a suspension of membership.
I was going to say, did you ask for one?
So obviously I couldn't do anything today because the pool was closed.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent it like this ridiculous email at like midnight going, I did not request for this. But now it means that I won't be able to go swimming until I get the membership sorted out, because the time of the morning that I go, the membership place isn't, they're not there. Mm-hmm. And it's usually some, pubescent 17 or 18-year-old kid at the counter who I was asking something about my membership a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, I don't know. You're going to have to talk to the membership people. Yeah, I can't go swimming until that's sorted out. So I guess I'll be making a couple of phone calls, or maybe just one, hopefully get sorted out in one. Apart from that, not a lot. I haven't really done a lot. I'm not going to lie. I had a really lazy ass week, because next week's going to be ultra busy because I've got that friend of mine coming from the States, Lucas. He's sailing. He's sailing away all the way down here from the US.
Oh, right. Okay. How long does that take?
I think he's taken about 2.5 weeks, but their stops were like in Hawaii and Fiji. I think it was Fiji. Yeah. F1, J1. And then Sydney. And then he gets off the boat. He spends about 4 or 5 days here, and then he goes back to the States by plane.
No, thank you.
They're floating prisons. I don't understand the cruise mentality, but,
Yeah.
Whatever.
I didn't do, well, I was actually quite busy this week, but it was more to do with the podcast stuff. So I figured out social media. We got more followers. If you're listening, please follow us on Instagram. We post relatively funny things, but we'll get better at it, we promise. We should mention that we're by a fire today because it's a bit cold outside. So
it is a bit cold.
We just wanted to warm ourselves up with a nice fire. And we're both wearing our merch t-shirts.
Drag me out.
Which hopefully will become available soon. We're just sorting out merchandise. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that's for the people who are listening and can't see us sitting by the fire like two knobheads. In saying that, burst your pancreas this week.
This is a personal bursting of my pancreas this week. It still has a lot to do with the general population of the globe. Mm-hmm. However, this one's specifically for me, and maybe other people who are in the same boat as me. And I was watching something on TV the other day, and it kind of triggered me. I don't drink, alcohol. It's a personal choice. Obviously, I tried it when I was younger. I didn't take to it. I'm one of those people. I don't like the taste of it. And I'm definitely one of those people. If I don't like the taste of something, I don't eat it. So if I don't like the taste of something, I'm definitely not going to drink it. Mm-hmm. It's happened a few times, and it's been at functions, and it's been, when some people have gotten together and everything, and I've gone, yeah, I'll tag along, because I'm not much of a socializer at bars and clubs and things like that, only unless there's gambling involved. And, they'll sit there and they'll buy a drink and they'll buy a round and everything, and they go, oh, what do you want? And I go, I'll just have a Coke or a lemon lime and bitters or whatever it is that I particularly want on that day. And they go, oh, go on, just have one drink. And I go, no, I'm fine. I don't drink. You know that I don't drink. And they go, oh, come on, it's just one more. And it's like, I do not drink alcohol. I am a lifetime designated driver, and I'm okay with that because I choose not to drink. I'm not a reformed alcoholic or anything like that. I just choose not to drink. And what really pisses me off is if I tell you that I don't drink and I don't want to drink and I just want something that's non-alcoholic, just leave it be.
Yeah, I feel that it's no one's business as to why you don't want to drink. Even if you were a recovering alcoholic, it's not anyone's business to be like, oh, why don't you drink? None of your business.
It really pisses me off to the point of I start to not enjoy the evening. I don't begrudge anybody a drink. And if you want to get paralytic, legless, pissed as a fart, 3 sheets to the wind, all of that other stuff, blackout drunk while you're with me, that's fine. I've got no problem with it. But it kind of almost puts you in that peer pressure moment. And obviously, this is something that I've been very staunch with. And I've gone like, no, even in my 20s or all of that other stuff. But people, if someone says that they don't want to have a drink of alcohol, don't try and force it on them, because that just actually makes you look like a total ass.
Yeah, I agree. And you don't know if this person is a recovering alcoholic
and doesn't want to say anything.
But not that they don't want to say anything, but, you know, they might even be, 2-3 months sober, and you're saying to them, oh, go on. So they've still got that little devil on their shoulder that goes, just one drink won't do anything. I think people need to be a bit more cautious, I guess, of what they try to push on to other people.
But here's the other thing, okay? What really, really, really gets up my nose is people who say, I don't trust people who don't drink. I actually heard people say, and I've actually heard people say that we have worked with and that I have worked with in the past, that they don't trust somebody who doesn't drink. Fuck you. I do not want to drink alcohol. You don't need this intoxicated, okay? Because look at it when it's not intoxicated. Look at how worked up it gets when they're talking about not wanting to have a drink because it's a personal choice. Imagine what it is imagine how bad it's going to be for somebody who doesn't have the choice. They have to not drink. And those of you who are listening, I am literally looking at the screen, bug-eyed with my eyes wide open, because let people have their choices. Okay. So, Hailey, your pancreas, how's it doing?
Well, I was back with general population this week for a little bit and found some things that my pancreas wanted to just burst out my butthole. If that's the easiest exit, then that's the one it's going to take. I was on public transport. Now, I keep to myself. I
Public transport.
Yeah, public transport. Woo. And, because that's what I have to do. And people who talk on the phone on loudspeaker, if you're in the same carriage or you're on the same bus, no one wants to hear your conversation, especially if it's in a different language, because I can't understand what you're saying and it might be really interesting. So if I'm going to eavesdrop, you better have a good conversation with somebody. I don't mind if you want to talk on the phone and not have them on loudspeaker. That's also fine. I will listen to your half of the conversation.
And judge you for it, yeah.
And judge you, yes. The other thing that pisses me off is people who listen to music without headphones. Listen to hear Eshays. No one wants to hear your doof doof and your boots and cats. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to have you have their boombox over their shoulder walking down the platform. You're not cool. I want to push you in front of a train. Stop it. If you can afford a boombox, you can afford headphones. I had one guy walk down the stairs and I was walking up the stairs, and it was in like the corridors underneath the train stations.
Mhm.
And he started playing, it wasn't even like a doof doof song. He like literally got to the bottom of the stairs and I hear turn around every now and I'm like, are you kidding? Like, I was like, where is that coming from? And then it's like coming from someone's pocket. And he's just blasting it. It's echoing through the tunnels. I'm like, how embarrassing for you. But yes, there is a particular subset of the Australian culture that likes to wear bum bags, smoke on platforms, and say esche bra a lot. And those particular ones are the ones that want to listen to their music really loudly. All that says to me is that obviously you do drugs. Can you please stay away from me? That's it. That's all it says to me.
You know, if you're going to walk past me and you're going to have your phone blasting Total Eclipse of the Heart, be prepared that I'm just going to burst into song at any given time. I'm just going to start singing along. And if you don't like it, well, more fool you.
I had it stuck in my head for the rest of the day. So that was nice. But yes, any music out loud, talking, you know, on loudspeaker, just be a better person. Like,
we don't ask for much.
no. If you're in a carriage by yourself and you want to play music, that's fine. But just check that you're in a carriage by yourself first.
Yeah. I had that when I was at, remember how I was in hospital a few weeks ago, right? We were sitting in the waiting room. My mum took me to the hospital and we were sitting there waiting, and old mate was sitting behind us, and he obviously had stuffed up his bank account. So he had it on loudspeaker in the waiting room of the hospital where I'm sitting with chest pains. Turns out he was having chest pains too, but he didn't give a shit about anybody else, right? And we heard about how he accidentally locked himself out of his Westpac bank account and then was like giving passwords and numbers and God knows what else over the thing. But we could actually hear the other side of the conversation. And had I have not been in as much pain as I was going to turn around and go, unless you're going to give everybody in this waiting area $500 fucking dollars, fucking shut up. But it goes back to the whole wait your turn thing, because he was actually the person who was directly in front of me when we came into the hospital. So I knew that once he went, then I was going to go. So I just had to wait for him to be.
And it was the same old mate that cut in front of you at the grocery store.
No, because that guy, I'm pretty sure his name was Bill. It may not have been. This guy was like a Spiro. And I'm pretty sure his name was Spiro or Spiros or something.
And now we have all these bank account details. Thank you, Spiros. You're going to fund our merchandising.
Bless your heart.
I love that you love water.
I love that you love water.
I don't love water anymore, but
we can't have water anymore. Oh, bariatric people. You need to be able to put something in your water to soften it. Water is too hard. It makes your stomach feel like it's burning. And it's very, very uncomfortable.
It feels really heavy in my stomach.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last very long for me. And also because of the different types of surgeries, so apparently sleeves a lot harsher because because they actually take out part of your stomach, whereas bypass, as it says, it actually bypasses your stomach. So sleeve, I think, is a bit more difficult to have water. I have to have like sugar-free cordial or the lemon mineral water, or like whatever the mineral water is, like a little bit of bubbles, because I can drink straight water, but it's only small sips. And I'm like, well, this is just pointless.
It hurts.
It's not too, I don't find that it hurt, but you had the mini bypass and I had the full bypass. The gastric bypass is basically we bypass a portion of your stomach and also a portion of your small intestine. And that's why if you eat something that doesn't agree with you, it comes out really fast.
If anybody's thinking of doing the gastric bypass surgery, one of the things that can happen if you eat something too greasy or something too sugary is something called dumping syndrome. So your stomach is about that big, not very big. Once they actually section off the stomach that you can use. And the other part of the stomach stays because it brings out the acids and the enzymes and all of that in order to be able to assist with breaking down food. So what happens is if you eat too much, or if you eat something that's very fatty or something that's very sugary, that can actually go into the empty part of the stomach, the part that doesn't get used. And that's what dumping syndrome is. And it's uncomfortable. I've had it once and I never want it again. It's very uncomfortable. You are sick for like a day or two. You're nauseous, you vomit. But you know what? You don't really vomit on gastric bypass anymore. It's mostly dry reaching. The only time you vomit is if you've literally finished eating something 10 seconds earlier.
Yeah, correct.
You know, because I've eaten something about half an hour before. I've gone, oh my God, I have to go and throw up. And it's just dry reaching for half an hour. So the dumping syndrome, it's not pleasant, and I wanted to avoid it at all costs, and then accidentally ate something that my body just did not agree with. And it's not just vomiting, because everything's connected north and south, and it's like having the worst diarrhea that you could ever possibly imagine. It's awful. It's yucky.
So gastric sleeve is not reversible because they actually take out a portion of your stomach. Mm-hmm. Whereas a gastric bypass, you can have them reversed because your stomach's still there. And I found with people who get the sleeve, it seems to be revision. Yeah, it seems to be a 7-year gap, and then they get this, and then they get the full bypass because they put the weight back on, and
well, you can stretch it,
and it looks like the Omega Loop, or the one that you got. They create this little pouch. You bypass your stomach, you've got this little pouch. You bypass your stomach, you've got the limb, and then you connect up to your small intestine. Whereas the full gastric bypass, there's no little pouch. It connects straight to your intestine. I don't know why they do one over the other. The reason I had the full gastric bypass and not the sleeve is because of my reflux. They say that the sleeve can make the reflux worse, and people end up getting revision. Now, people who end up getting revision from the sleeve to the bypass expect this massive amount of weight loss, but it never is, because your body is already used to the minimal calories that you eat. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend the sleeve unless your
doctor is giving you a reason why it has to be the sleeve over the bypass.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the sleeve's not reversible.
No. But, and the thing that I noticed on the Facebook group, the one that Hailey got kicked out of. Yeah.
Good. I didn't get kicked out. I left. I just made a big song and dance about it before I left.
You tell it to Oprah, darling.
I got the receipts. I can show you. I got the receipts.
She got kicked out. God, I can't even remember what I was saying now.
Who cares? Let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, before we actually move on to the next portion of the pageant,
yes,
just want to make a small little apology to our guest last week, Ivana Kebab. Hailey brought it to my attention, and I was like, oh, we'll just see how it goes. And yeah, it was cute how we kind of introduced her. We didn't actually introduce her.
We did not, but she's the media's queen in Melbourne. She needs her introduction. Ivana Kebab.
Kebab.
We love you.
We do.
And we'll see you again on the podcast, because that's what you said.
We're holding you to it. We've got receipts.
Yep, got the receipts.
Yeah. But she was amazing. She was spectacular, and God, she was good. Like, I'm not even going to think of any superlatives or anything. Is superlative a word? Yeah, it is.
Like, we didn't want a guest this week just because we just wanted to bask in the fabulousness that is Ivana Kebab. Yes. So next week we are having someone co-host, I believe. Is that correct?
Once I hear back from them, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So yeah, Ivana Kebab was last week's guest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an introduction as such. It's an apologetic recap.
and we love you.
And we love you. And I'm not trying to come for your look. As I said last week, you inspire us. And if I tried to come for your look, your gig's safe. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be taking any work from you or anything like that. Love you. We'll quickly do this week's food fixation.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Have you tried anything new this week?
I have. I
Yeah.
had made myself Greek salad tonight with the already cooked beef, but you put it in the oven, like it's already
Yep.
slow cooked, and you put it in the oven.
Mhm.
And I had that tonight, and I ate quite a fair amount of it. Like it was not like heaps, but like I didn't feel sick. It didn't sit heavy. It was nice to eat.
So you tried that. So do you have a fixation?
No, I've been really bad with food, so much so that I haven't been able to poop. But earlier today, I did have, I want to find a good word for it. I did a honking dirt snake, so it's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably going to be the name of the episode. Go on.
What are you doing? Idiot.
If I decide to keep this in there.
You only dropped one kid off at the pool?
Nope, definitely dropped a whole fucking litter.
Oh God, I'm struggling to recover from this. I was going to tell you my food fixation now, but
rectal rocket? No, I can go on for days.
So my food fixation this week. Have I tried anything new? No. It's only been today. I've been pretty good most of the week because I put a little bit of weight on, but that happens. But most of that's come off again. So that's good. But I went into a YouTube rabbit hole of Martha Stewart today. And hey, look, don't knock it. As I said to you in a text message today, eggplant or aubergine is actually a berry. It's Martha's cooking school, and they're about 20 to 30 minutes long, the episode. And she was making French toast.
Okay.
And I really wanted French toast. And if I couldn't have French toast, in lieu of French toast, I wanted waffles. And if I couldn't get a waffle, pancakes. All of the things that we can't really have anymore.
No.
Fucking jailbird Joey Martha Stewart strikes again. And made me want something that I can't have.
Have you seen her cook with Snoop Dogg?
I have.
Those are great episodes.
It's very good, yeah. So what are we up to? What are we doing next?
We're up to we'll do mine first, where I will give my review about Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Did you want me to hate it? Did you feel that I would hate it?
I thought maybe you might feel indifferent to it.
It was cheesy. It was cheesy.
That's the whole point. The whole point.
But I actually quite liked it. Elvira's hilarious. The story, if anyone who hasn't watched it, it's on YouTube, so you can just watch it there. But she's a really sits on a lounge and introduces new movies, I think. Is that what she does?
Yeah, that's actually kind of, she had a show in Vegas, if I recall. She had a relationship with Elvis. In Vegas for a little bit. Yeah. And if I'm wrong, don't come for me, but that's just what I remember. And then my mum, hi Gloria. My mum and I would watch TV on Channel 10 late at night. And her whole gig was that she would show these really schlocky old horror movies from like the 50s and stuff. And she would do commentary to them. which is what she actually starts in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what she became famous for.
And then, like, I love how it's just all centered on the boobs. I love it. Everything's about the boobs. Whenever they pan in from her, it's from the boobs and then out. Like, so then she inherits a house from her aunt, her great aunt, who she's
Morgana. Yeah.
And she gets a cookbook, but it's not a cookbook, it's a spell book because her aunt was a witch. And, you know, there's the bad brother. Yeah,
her uncle. Yeah.
her great uncle.
Uncle Vinny.
Uncle Vinny, yeah, who is like wants the spell book and, you know, he tries to do bad stuff anyway. And then the whole town. Oh, I loved the chairperson. Her name was Chastity Pariah.
Yeah.
And when Elvira poisons them all and they makes them all horny, and she's like, "Oh, is this seat taken?" And then just sits on his face.
Yeah.
That was funny. And is Patty a drag queen? I got confused about that. She kind of looked like a drag queen. No,
she's an actual actress. Yeah.
Okay. Because the picture's not great, I couldn't really distinguish. And then obviously you could tell that her boobs were fake. Is Elvira's boobs fake? Was that a breastplate? She's great boobs. I might get those. I might go to the doctor and be like, I want Elvira boobs.
Elvira boobs. Yeah.
And then is that where the saying came from, how's your head? Haven't heard any complaints yet? Or does it come from somewhere else?
I want to say it came from that movie because that was the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah. I might do some research on that. But that's, and I heard that was like one of the last things that she said.
Yeah. But one of the things that she says in the movie, which was one of my favorite things I took away from it, is there's nothing wrong with G-rated movies as long as there's lots of sex and violence.
Yes. And she's like, I like that I understand that they exploited her for her boobs. Like that was just the whole premise of the movie. But I like that she was in charge of like her own sort of sexuality. Like, yeah, so I actually didn't mind it. It was cheesy and I reckon they should
the whole point of it.
Revamp it, just saying.
With her?
Reboot, yeah.
She looks just as good now.
Yeah, she still looks great. Like
she's amazing. And what the funny thing was, let's just say a year ago, I don't know, she was married. I think she's had a kid. She came out.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she came out. I think it was last year or the year before. So welcome to the family, Elvira. Welcome to the family, Cassandra Peterson.
But yeah,
you're still hot.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was
roast or toast.
Oh, that's right. I got to do that. Didn't even think about my ratings. I'm going to give it 2 toasts.
2 toasts?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2 toasts.
So as a toast, it was good?
Yeah, it was good.
Would you watch it again?
If I had a better version of it, I would, yes.
I mean, I've watched it about 50 times. I love it.
Of course you have. Shocking taste in movies. All right. So, speaking of shocking movies, how did Sharknado go?
84 minutes. I know I'm never going to get back. And then when I clicked on it and I saw it was 2013, I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked again and I went, oh my God, there's 6 of them.
Yeah, there's heaps of them. I thought there was only 4. Apparently not.
I'm just going to read randomly from the notes. Okay. So, but the premise is that there are fucking sharks in a fucking tornado. So
it's pretty self-explanatory.
It starts out with like a whole bunch of sharks in the water and a tornado approaches them and basically swoops them up out of the water. And then all of a sudden it's not raining men, it's raining sharks. Right? So I was watching it and I saw the sharks get swept up in the tornado and I went, a real shark would have died. Are these mutant sharks?
Yes. Yes, they are mutant sharks.
Okay. The movie looked like it was made on a camcorder.
Right.
Like there was actually a wave and a stormy sky, and then like you looked at the graphic and they didn't quite match up, and there was actually a line of white where the 2 things didn't meet up. It was very funny. It was, funnily enough, almost Elvira-esque. in that sense. Like it was schlocky, and it was unapologetically schlocky. It was like, this is all we could afford. Go watch our movie.
Yeah.
Now, the main character, I think his name was Finn, played by Ian Ziering, who was the knob from Beverly Hills 90210. Okay. I used to watch it. He thought himself a bit of all right back then. And I noticed that he kind of still thought of himself as a bit of all right. And then I kind of went like this. I was watching. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I started out watching the movie with my phone. And I wasn't watching it on my phone, but I had my phone in front of me. And then I thought, no, give it the attention because you're going to be reviewing it. So I put the phone down and went, oh my God, it's the dad from Home Alone. There was something about it that kind of, now I'm not comparing it. I'm saying it had the same vibe as, but the movie I'm about to mention was so much better because of who was in it and all of that other stuff. But it had this like Hurricane Bianca vibe to it. The tornado and all of that, right? So then there was the scene in the bar when the sharks first started coming in, and the girl Nova, her name was, the chick that had the crush on Finn. So they did a cutaway to her like pumping the shotgun and shooting the shark. The thing was that they forgot to put the background behind her. It was literally just like a black or a grey screen behind her.
Yeah.
There was no bar, windows, like people or anything like that. And I was just went, okay, yeah, no worries. And then when the more sharks started to come into the bar and everything, all of a sudden they had this arsenal. Like they were just taking guns and stuff from behind the bar, and
well, they're in America.
Yeah, I know, but they're in California. So then the bar gets decimated. This is going to be a long review. The bar gets decimated. They're on Santa Monica Pier. The sharks are landing on the pier, and they're scared and are running away from the sharks. But sharks can't move on land. They don't have legs. They don't have arms. They just lay there going like you know. The thing that actually made me laugh was the Ferris wheel that becomes dislodged and starts rolling down Santa Monica Pier, and everyone's running away from it. Take 2 steps to the left and it'll just roll. So I was like, okay, yeah. And then they broke Santa Monica Pier. And then when they were driving through the streets of LA and all of that, and they had like stock footage of like thunderstorms and rain and stuff. And then like they're driving and like they hear this banging against the door, and it's like while they're moving, driving quite fast with the turbo in the car and stuff, and sharks are knocking up against the door. And then they're like, what's that? Oh, it's under the car. And then a shark comes through the top of the car, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And then gets to the best note. Why does Hailey fucking hate me so much? Right? And then they're driving and he looks at you in the rearview mirror and there are sharks in the rearview mirror. Fuck. Right? Then because there's an Aussie guy there with them as well. And they kind of stereotyped him a little bit with the, oh, bloody hell, and all of this other stuff. And then they went full stereotype with, oh, mate, I think you've got a couple of kangaroos loose in the top paddock. Which to those who are international listening means that like they're nuts, they're psycho, a couple of kangaroos loose in the top paddock. They're driving and there's a bus full of school kids and they're going to drive away because the Tara Reid's like, there's no one in there. And he goes, well, what if there is? And he opens up the back of his truck and he's got this rappelling gear in it. Is this like Indiana MacGyver? Like, he's got a whole Indiana Jones MacGyver thing going on. And so he rappels down and he saves them all. And the bus driver is the last one. And as the bus driver is going up on the road, he says, and I quote, I hate sharks. I'm from Wyoming. Right? What is it? The Australian guy does homemade bombs, and like if you throw them in the tornado or whatever it is, like the tornado
Because
will change direction.
we all know how to make homemade bombs.
And also, why did the Bureau of Meteorology never think of this? Let's just blow up a tornado and everyone will be fine. so the son, Matt, I think his name is, him and Nova go in a helicopter, so they got better access to the tornado so they could drop the bombs in. And something happens and the helicopter gets jolted or something like that, and she ends up in the mouth of a shark who's up in the tornado sky. And so their son has to make an emergency landing, and Finn goes running and goes, "Where's Nova?" And he's like, "She didn't make it." And then this shark comes towards him that's flown out of the tornado. And so he's like, it's finally time to, there's a new sheriff in town, pew, pew, but with his chainsaw, right? And then I know this is a really long premise and review, and I promise I'll get to the review bit, but it was just so ridiculous. Fuck. So the shark comes towards him with the big mouth open, like, ah. So he fucking rips the chainsaw. He rips the chainsaw to start, and then he goes into the mouth of the shark, and you're like, well, he's got the chainsaw, of course he's got to get out. So the chainsaw, like, the shark dies, but this is how the shark dies. It doesn't actually die from like impact for the ground or anything like that. He gets his way out of the shark by chainsawing its belly open, and then as he gets out and everyone's going, "Oh, you're alive," he goes back in and pulls out fucking Nova. Being alive after. And what happened was, what I kept thinking to myself was, I really want to take some of what the creator was taking when he thought of the movie.
You don't drink, but you'll do that.
I was like, he's taken about 7 endones and swig of scotch and just went, fuck it, let's just make a movie about sharks in tornadoes, and it'll create 5 sequels to it, I promise. And someone's like,
so you're not at all curious in the sequels?
No, it was so bad, it was so good. So I actually have to give it 2 ratings. It was a roast, fucking 27 roast chickens. But it was so fantastically bad. I'm giving it the whole loaf of toast. So what have you got for me this week?
Have you seen the new Jumanji?
I've never seen any Jumanji.
You never seen any Jumanji?
Not even the Robin Williams one.
Why not?
Guess I haven't lived.
Okay.
Which one are you going to pick?
I really want to give you 2 now. Jeez. I'm unsure.
I've got 5 sequels to watch.
Watch the original, because I feel that you'll want to watch the other ones, which are on Netflix anyway. So you are watching the original Jumanji on Stan, 1995, with Robin Williams. Can't remember the girl's name. Bonnie Hunt.
I love Bonnie Hunt.
I like her too. And
she's funny.
Yeah, so that's yours.
Do you want to know yours?
Oh God, I'm scared. Okay, go.
Have you ever seen the movie Connie and Carla?
I don't think so.
It's got Nia Vardalos in it, the chick from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and Toni Collette.
No, I've seen, like, I feel like I've seen the cover of it. Yes, I have seen the cover of it, but I have not seen it. No.
It's on Stan.
Okay. We
only watched it again last week. So now we're going to be talking about the drag section of our pageant.
Yes.
A RuPaul's Drag Race secret celebrity. We found out who they all were.
Picked all the reveals. We picked them prior to watching them.
Picked them like a dirty nose, we did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said goodbye to Donna Bellissima.
which between her and Thirsty, I feel that Thirsty should have gone home.
I agree. And Thirsty's been in the bottom a few times.
Yeah, and Chakra 7 won. Still don't get it. I'm unsure how that happened. Chiclafay killed that with peanut butter.
Yes.
I know I'm a bit biased because I like Chiclafay, but I think that she should have won that one. I'm confused as to why she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Poppy Love, like I like Poppy Love. He's my second favorite, but it seems so strange to me that he looks like he's thinking about performing. I'm like, you've been performing before I was born, I think.
Yeah, but when he was in the Backstreet Boys, I think that's when he was doing the drugs and alcohol and stuff. So maybe he wasn't conscious.
Backstreet Boys have had a what's it called? A thing at Vegas. What's it called? Residency at Vegas for the last couple years, and they've all been there.
Yeah, so he's used to the routine. They only get like a week with this routine. So they would have done like the rehearsals and all of that before the Vegas routine. Plus, I don't think the Backstreet Boys dance around with like corsets and wigs and in high heels.
No, they don't. But, he's a performer. I just thought it would be a bit more natural.
Maybe, but like he still might be a bit nervous. He's really stepping out of a comfort zone.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he's amazing for doing it. Like being a straight man and just being like, you know what? If this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. So he was good. Like he performed well, but I still think Chiclafay should have won that. I don't understand Chakra 7. I don't get it.
I don't get it. Is it because she's got a vag?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't get it.
No, I'm really not seeing it. I hope she doesn't win it.
I hope she doesn't win it either.
Because
I want it to be between Chiclafay and Poppy Love. That's who I want it to be between. But I don't know if they're going to have 3. I don't know if they're going to have, well, because it's Final 4 now. So I feel that it's going to be them 3. I think Thirsty's going to go out next.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. But I hope that Chakra 7 kind of goes. But she's not. She's the favorite now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she'll win the next one, hopefully. I think they're trying to even it out. But
we finally get to RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
We did talk about it a little bit last week.
A little bit, but Queen Kong didn't win.
Correct.
Anaconda did not win.
Correct.
Spanky Jackson pulled it out of her ass for the win.
Do you think she
well
should
done,
have won?
Spanky Jackson? Yes. But no.
Overall performance, do you think that she should have won? I'm here to ask the hard-hitting questions.
You are, and this is a hard-hitting question because that means that I may have to diss my girl Spanky. However, at the same time, I did say episode or 2 ago that she is consistently crap. So here are the reasons why I believe she won.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The consistent crapness was actually quite endearing. She is representing what a drag queen is in general, right? They don't have the money to get themselves fancy costumes or anything like that. They have to put together whatever they've got in order to be able to do their thing, their performance or whatever it is. She's basically encapsulating what every drag queen sees, right? So, but don't get me wrong, Anaconda, some of the best runways, that bug runway from, I think it was episode 2.
I don't know.
Where she came out with the brown, no, was it brown or brownie purpley type dress coat thing? Like her runways were so good. She was really, really, really good. Then I think it comes down to the whole charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. There was no doubting that all 3 of them had talent, right? All of them obviously put themselves out there to be judged, all of that, the nerves. Each of them had their own take on drag, there's a uniqueness. It came down to the charisma. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of how she looks or anything like that, she is entertaining when she performs. We're talking about Spanky Jackson, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She's entertaining when she performs. She has a fantastic personality in and out of drag. And I can't remember which of the judges said it. And please, if they have a season 3, can we get rid of Reese Nicholson? Like, I put Joel Creasy in, or Ursula Carlson, or
no,
something.
I don't like Joel Creasy.
Well, could we put somebody in who's got a little bit more? I know that they're editing him quite a lot, but I don't know. But one of the judges actually said, like, Spanky has that the star quality. Like, Spanky's got the X factor.
Like, I agree, and I feel that they've gone against the grain in this season. Like, for some reason, I don't know what it was, but because in previous seasons, I don't feel that they've made allowances for people who can't afford nice drag. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, look at what's her name? Chi Chi Devane. God rest your soul, Chi Chi. Like, she was getting bagged out because, you know, she was basically dragging everything together. Like, she was dragging everything together to drag.
Yeah.
And, you know, and she was copping crap from it, probably on socials as well, because there are people who believe that they're the world's greatest drag critic.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not drag critics by any stretch. And like, we've ragged on Silky Nutmeg Ganache, but, you know, if that's all you can afford and that's all you can do, then that's what you do. And, you know, that's what I think was happening with Spanky Jackson. It was the fact that that's all she could do.
And that's fine. I'm all for, I just don't understand why this exception was made for Spanky, but like, people on other seasons have been read for filth for their drag not being up to the standard.
Do you think that they're learning their lesson?
Maybe because they could understand that, you know, some drag queens aren't fortunate enough.
They can't make the money down here that they can make overseas now.
No, that's correct.
And that's the thing. They can do a 50, 60 city tour of the US, make some coin. You know, they get tipped over there when they're performing. So they can make, you know, some more money that way. Drag, even though it's getting bigger down here, it's nowhere near as much. We don't have the kind of population, the kind of, you know, coverage across the country or anything like that. So some people may have put their whole life savings into really great drag, and you're not going to get any judgment because we enjoyed seeing it. But I think it was because Spanky encapsulated the everyday drag queen. They didn't do a Miss Congeniality, did they? Because there's no way that anybody would have beat Spanky for that. Like, Spanky was the total package, except for the drag. I still don't understand. At the same time, I kind of do understand, but I don't understand Violet Chachki. Like, did she really deserve that win? I don't know. And I love Sasha Velour, and she fucking made it awesome in season 9, like the final with the rose petals and all of that. But, like, she didn't win an individual. Brooklyn Heights was robbed, and Brooklyn Heights is beautiful. Like, even as a man, like, what a good looking package. But we digress. Spanky Jackson, I think. Okay, so if you're scoring out of 100, right, and you had to take all of that stuff into consideration, and you had to take off marks for the physical drag element, like the runways and all of that other stuff, okay, Spanky probably got a 90 out of 100. But are you upset with?
No. Right. Because I like Spanky and I wanted her to win, but I feel that Hanaconda may have deserved it more.
But I think also the hashtag teaming and all of that had something to do with it as well. I'm pretty sure that Rue looks at all of those, because the winner is not announced until the actual time we see it. And if that's the case, then obviously more people would have been, you know, Team Spanky, just because of the personality that she has.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Yeah, I'm not taking away anything from Spanky's win. I'm just a little bit miffed, sad for Anaconda.
There were no losers in that top three.
No.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because they had their viewing party.
I've got a bit more here.
You do have RuPaul there. Thank you, Hero Huggers by Rennie. Hello, the fabulous Wonder Mama.
If you want a nice pillow.
Yeah, please get those. I have one too, but I'm still waiting for my pillows from Amazon that was supposed to turn up at 8:00 tonight, but still haven't turned up.
You turn it over.
And you turn it over, and it's boy RuPaul. Look. I have that one, and then I went back onto the Etsy website yesterday, and I purchased. It's the two-sided one again, but it's Moira from Schitt's Creek on one side and David from Schitt's Creek on the other. So if anybody just wants a really nice pillowcase or something a little bit different, check out Hero Huggers by Rennie on Etsy.
She was selling them at Melbourne Drag Expo. That's where we got ours.
And it's going to be in Sydney.
It's going to be in Sydney to sell them there, but you can get them online. We'll leave the link when we post the video.
Yep.
Don't have to say
on
that.
Etsy.
We'll leave the link down there.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And these are great, and they're really great quality too.
Yeah, they're soft, cuddly.
It's not just like RuPaul and Schitt's Creek. There are plenty of varieties. I think there's Freddie Mercury one. Some superhero ones. There's heaps and heaps. Get on it. They're great. They're great gifts. Do it. So I guess we're coming to the local drag shows that are happening this week or coming up, not necessarily this week. So we have the Stonewall Hotel, 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights, the Gospels with Minnie Cooper, Anaconda and Jackieson Hyde. Saturday nights at the Newtown Hotel, 8:30 p.m. live drag with Minnie Cooper, Tora Hyman, Victoria Anthony, Anaconda and Dakota Secret. Triple D's with Maxi Shield and Jackieson Hyde and Coco Jumbo every Saturday, 9 p.m. Gingers at the Oxford. Drag Queen Trivia every first Wednesday of the month. The next one coming up is on October 5th, 7 p.m. at Pepe's on the Beach in Wollongong, Dagong, your hood. So Death Becomes Her with Illawarra and Roxy Horror at the Vault, 21st of October and November 19th. Tickets are $35. Coming up in November, we have a new friend, a charismatic, will be performing in Soiree, the Drag Circus Dinner Cabaret, the 11th of November, Club York, 95 to 99 York Street, Sydney, from 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So thank you for watching another episode or listening to another episode of Drag Me Out. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment below. Nice comments, please. If you're listening,
egos can't take it. Okay.
Yeah, I just want people to love me. We're available on all of the podcast streaming services, your iTunes, your Spotify's, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, wherever you find good podcasts, and even bad podcasts, if you find them there, we'll probably be there too.
Any new upcoming drag queens? Any
drag queens? Any up and coming?
They're all fabulous. Send us a DM on Insta. We're going to try and organize some more times to interview people, come on the show, have a chat. We don't care what you talk about. Don't care.
Yep.
Anything you want.
Any questions? Any suggestions on how we can make this better? We need all the help we can get.
The next couple of weeks, a few drag queens and a surprise guest.
Yes.
But we won't reveal that just yet.
No, and we promise we'll introduce them a lot better. Sorry, Ivana Kebab.
Sorry, Ivana. We love you.
We love you. Still can't do it.
No, stop doing it. I took that bit.
I still can't do the heart fingers. No, can't do the heart fingers.
Yeah. No.
Still can't do the heart finger thing. I can do the K-pop thing though. Look at my little bottom of the heart bone.
I just want to punch you in the face. Just right in the face.
Stand in line.
I'll stay behind, old mate.
Thanks everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, fire. Ooh, nice and cozy and warm. Ooh, drag me out. Drag me out. Drag me out.